Hey, one of the things I want to go through is some of the basics, going through just what we do each day. And the first thing we'll do is typically we'll go through any new leads that have come in through emails, and they could be from listings, they could be through Brivity Marketer, they could be from your website, they could be all different types of things. We're going to go to our email and check all the new leads. We're also going to go into Brivity and sign in and see what leads are showing up as new. Remember, if we have a lead come into Brivity, if it says new, it can only be in that new status for 24 hours. Okay, because we're going to call them, and if they answer, then we're going to know if they're a hot lead where they're going to buy within 90 days, or they're going to be a nurture where they're going to buy within a year, or they're going to be a watch where it'll be a year or more. If we don't get a hold of them, they're going to be an unqualified. But every day we go through our leads and we process those through, so we never have any new leads after 24 hours. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check our expires that Luth has got done. She has those done by typically 8 o'clock. And remember, you can't start calling those with Mojo until 8 o'clock for those. But if there's something that you want to call early to make certain you get a call in before we go through our power up at 8:30 to 9, call them before a power up. It could be that it's in the area that you want to farm, like if it's in Franklin and it's a $1.5 million listing that came off the market, call those folks early, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to start getting all these phone calls and they're not going to answer the phone anymore. So hit those select ones that you want to do, call them early. Then also go through and then update any appointments that you had from the previous day. Because you probably set up appointments in the afternoon, and sometimes you're going to be late. Go through there and you can also pull up your task list, and on your task list, it's going to have all the outstanding appointments. And you can go in, click it, and find out, did you actually get the buyer's agreement signed? Did you get the listing signed? Was it something where it was a for sale by owner and it was just a meet and greet? So you did the meet and greet, and then you set up your next task as far as when that follow-up is going to be. Then you're going to look at your message center in Brivity. Over on the left-hand side, you know, where it's got your dashboard, then it's got your messages. These are people that message you through Brivity, and you can actually see who you need to respond to. It could be an auto text that went out and they're responding back to it, but you're going to go back and respond to those messages. Also, if it's somebody that's needing some more information, you can also respond to that. They could also be asking to view a property, but that's the next part you'll do. Then the last thing is pull up your calendar and see what you have scheduled for the day. Okay, when you pull it up, take a look and see which of those. Can you show it? Sure. Thank you, Sam. Take a look and see which one of those things are actually going to be what we call income producing activities. Income producing activities are going on appointments, making your phone calls, networking. Those are going to be income producing. If it's something with classes, take a look and see, okay, is this a class I need to take right now? If it's a class you need to take, then absolutely take it. If not, take a look at your business and say, all right, do I need to spend that time prospecting, or do I need to go to the class? Which is going to benefit me more? Because I need to have appointments and have conversations. It's all about having real estate conversations, and that's what's going to drive your business. So always keep that in mind. We always want to do the income producing things, because after a while, those are going to be on self generating themselves. It's kind of like that playground that we used to go to as kids, where they had that merry-go-round, where you get 50 kids on there and the dad's trying to sit there and twist that thing, and it's really heavy to do. But after he gets it going, he's just tapping it to keep it going. And it's going to be the same kind of thing with your business. But right now we're in that thing where we're pushing like mad to get that merry-go-round going. All right. Then after that, then we're going to go through our normal power up, 8:30 to 9, get fired up, practice our scripts, and then turn around and start using those. Now with that, after that, then we call through our new leads that came in, just like what it's talking about, expireds, for sale by owners, canceled, and do those. Once we get done with those phone calls, that could be 10 o'clock, 10:30, you know, depending on how many of those expires or cancels that we have. Then we go through our priority 1 tasks. Now we do go through Mojo then, and we update anybody we made contacts with that we want to be a nurture. We're going to put those in Brivity and follow up with them. All right, if it's an appointment, we're going to log that appointment into Brivity too. And then we're also going to log the number of calls that we made into our Brivity so we know how we're tracking for our plan. Okay, then we're going to go into our priority one task. Now, these are the things that need to be done. And if it's going on appointments, following up with a mark report that you promised somebody, it could be just checking on a listing that is pretty prominent and they're getting closer to that listing. Maybe they're doing some cleanup, but those are your priority one tasks. Then next, you're going to go through your recent website visitors. You're going to pull up your leads. You're going to go over, get last visit, and see who last visited your website. Then you can click on the properties that they viewed and reach out and give them a call and say, I saw that you looked at one twice yesterday. Was that something you're interested in? Okay. No, it's not anything I want to see. Well, tell me more about it. Why did you look at it a couple of times? Was there something about it that you liked or something that you didn't like? So that way it helps me keep an eye out for what you want. Now that's going to make your client feel like you're very in tune to them and you care about what they want. So again, this is an important part just from a customer service standpoint too. Then the next one, do the same thing with your mark report. These are the people looking to sell. Okay, you're going to pull those up and you'll give them that same phone call. Now, some of these are going to be the same people. They show up the same day. Don't call them every day if they're just looking at mark reports every day. If you see someone's looked at a property, 2 properties yesterday, just 1 time each, and then today they looked at 1, it was 3 times, I would call that person. Okay, but if you got someone actively looking and they're looking at properties and visit our website each and every day, that person is hot. He is looking to buy a property. Okay, if they're looking every day. But you won't know that unless you see the trends, because sometimes it will say 14 hours, some will say 24. But if you're looking at every day, you're going to see that trend show up for last visits to the website and also for the mark reports. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull up your hot leads. Now remember, hot leads are people that are going to buy within 90 days. These people you should be counting on being a pending within 3 months if they're truly a hot lead. So on hot leads, we call them once a week. All right. Nurtures, we call once a month. And watches, we call once a quarter. So remember that. But again, if it's been longer than 7 days since we've reached out to them, made a phone call, just like it says here, then we go ahead and give them another phone call. If we leave a message, send them also a text, because they need to know that you're active. Now, they get involved and they can get really busy with stuff. And Elaine, I'm going to use you for an example. I mean, you were in Washington and then now you're going to Cleveland, then you had a consulting job. You didn't have a chance to actually reach out to anybody if they left you a message, right?
No, I actually was just the ones that were marked as hot. Like I have an active buyer in Winchester, Tennessee that we were going to put an offer on for a piece of land, but it went under contract right before we were able to submit it. So the ones that are hot, the ones that I know that I'm speaking with, you know, on whether it's through Brivity or whether it's my personal line, I do keep up with them regularly. The ones that are nurture are the ones that, you know, I just kind of set that auto Brivity text message, you know, every couple months.
I really expressed that wrong. I was really meaning that you would be the buyer or you would be the seller. I know that you're keeping up with your buyers and sellers, just like your listings up in Gallatin and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm talking about because we don't know what they're going through. If they're sitting there and got a bunch of stuff going, they may not pick up the phone to respond to you. And I don't want you guys to take a look like, well, they're dissing me. Okay.
Right.
Because people do get a lot of things, especially in July. You got vacations coming up. You just went through the 4th of July weekend. And it was a weird weekend because it wasn't on Monday, it was on a Tuesday. So some people were just taking odd times off and stuff. So again, don't get distracted about that. Always go in like, this person wants to talk to me. Okay. The next thing is who needs listing alerts? And this one is you just pull up and who does not have a listing alert that's a buyer. And it could be that you've got a generic one and you may want to reach out and see if they're not looking at your listing alerts you're sending, reach out to them and say, am I way off? I had that happen with one of my buyers. I talked to him and found out, no, I actually want to be outside of Nashville. For some reason, I had them within Nashville. So I corrected that very quickly and also change the amount of acreage that they wanted. But again, this is a big one to make certain that they have listing alerts. This is going to tell you if you need to reach out to them and call them. Then the next one is the same thing. Who needs mark reports? If they live somewhere, which most people do live somewhere, almost 100% of people, make a mark report so they can see what's going on in that area. All right. And then over on the message center, open up the message center and take a look. I mean, how fast are you responding to people? When someone sends you a text and you reply back and then they don't reply for 3 or 4 days, what are you guys thinking? Jana, what do you think?
Either wrong number, or I start feeling bad about myself, or they didn't get it, or their phone's dead, or surely they wouldn't just ignore me, right?
Exactly. So we want to make certain that we're going to that message center and respond to those things every day so they don't feel that way, that we feel that about them. And also our past clients. Talk to your past clients. And sometimes it's just a real quick check-in. Says, hey, I was over the holidays, I was thinking about you and thought, man, I hadn't talked to you for a while, so just wanted to reach out and see how your 4th was. Okay. But you can come up with all kinds of things. It's just staying in touch with them. Because it's amazing how many people will forget your name being your real estate agent if you don't stay in contact with them. And again, you want to contact with them at least once a quarter for your past clients. And then have a plan for your watch and nurture leads. If someone says that they're going to sit there and sell in 6 months, then you call them in month 4. Because typically they're always going to move up that timeline. And you want to make certain that they know that you're ready for them. Same kind of thing. If they're saying, hey, we're going to be ready next spring to sell, you're calling them in January. All right. So you've got those messages in there and you're still touching base with them. Just because it's a year away, you don't call them in a year. You actually just stay in touch with them. Still doing that once a quarter, if that's what it is, to stay in contact with their watches. Okay. And then after you do those, then you're going to go on your appointments. If you don't have any appointments, take a look at some open houses, networking events you can go to. And that way you get to have more real estate conversations. The key is, guys, is having real estate conversations. And there is no limit to the number of real estate conversations that you can have if you're determined to have them. Because if you start talking about work, they're going to ask, well, what do you do? Well, I'm in real estate. I had a guy at the Y today ask me, says, are they building any new homes? And I said, absolutely they are. I said, all the major players have to, because they have to show revenue. But you can get a lot of great deals on new homes. Are you looking to buy a new home? So again, have those real estate conversations, but think about how you can have them. That's why we say doing 2 open houses, because those are great times to do it. You can have the open house. You can sit there and do a Zoom call if you want to do that. Most of them are recorded anyway. So if you get interrupted with someone coming in, you can pause it and come back to it. Or you can make other phone calls while you're doing it with your sphere, just seeing what's going on with them. And again, that's the great thing about, it's just like Brivity. Jana had a buyer walk in yesterday. Open house. I mean, you're telling them, says this house is for sale. People are coming into your open houses for 1 of 2 reasons. They're either going to buy or they're going to sell. So again, by being an open house, you stand a great opportunity to having a real estate conversation. Okay, comments on anything for a day in the life on Brivity?
I'm looking forward to getting it so I can do all this.
Okay, Holly? And maybe this is the first time you've actually walked through each step, and what's your reaction to it?
Yeah, I like the idea of reaching out to nurturers once a month, because that way, like, you know, you're not like currently looking to sell or buy. They still like know who you are for when they are.
Yep. And they're going to be asking you, I mean, what's the interest rates doing? Well, they're talking about going up. So you saw all the real estate stocks go down yesterday, anywhere from 5 to 10%. Okay. Elaine, what about you?
I think the whole not taking it drastically personally when they don't respond after a certain time, right? I mean, I've lost contact with people for a couple weeks on end that eventually email me or call me back. So I guess don't let that kind of affect you mentally. Just stay on it and don't take it personally.
Yeah, you gotta have to have no feelings on that. Jana, what about you?
I would say what may be an important document to kind of keep in front of us is, besides this one, is the pipeline tracker, because that kind of gives us like the visual of, okay, who are my people? Who are my kind of A1, if you will, like, you know, that first circle around of, okay, let's get through some of these new people, some people who I don't really know, but they've been visiting. And then, all right, now let me check in with my, you know, my posse. And that posse might be, you know, I guess what we try to look at is like that pipeline having maybe upwards of 30 people on there, somewhere from 15 to 30, I guess. And those are the people that feel like, okay, we really need to track. They may be present. They may be like hoping they're getting warmer, kind of thing. That helps me to go back, revisit that tracker idea. Because otherwise it feels like, whoa, I've got thousands of people here. I don't even know how to sort them out.
Great point. Okay, Jamie,
And what is the question, please?
as far as going through this on a daily basis, as far as
Well,
actually having a game plan as far as what you're doing each day.
I think it's fabulous. I think it's, you know, the whole reason why I wanted to join a team, or one of the main reasons, was because I knew I needed accountability and I knew I needed a system. And this provides the system. So I'm excited about it and looking forward to getting into it.
Okay, very good. All right, guys, tell me what gratitude you have and also what I can do for you today. I'll start with Kat.
Well, I'm grateful. My sister just texted us earlier in our family group chat that she got accepted to one of the hospitals there in the US, Johns Hopkins in Maryland. So
Wow.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, she just got her license and then she already got an employer. So we're just happy.
Very good. Okay. Jana?
Yeah, good day yesterday, and looking forward to, I mean, I've got a handful of things going on, so that always helps. My car's not looking good this morning, so I think I'm gonna stay put here for a minute.
Okay. Lou?
Well, I'm grateful. It's a nice day today. It's not raining. It's not hot. You know, the temperature is just right for I was able to sleep well today. So thankful for the nice weather.
Very good. Holly?
I'm grateful for the connections I was able to make on Tuesday because I went to my friend's pool. And like I said, like the other guy that could be a client. So I'm just grateful that I was able to meet people like that.
I forgot to mention that with open houses and networking events, going to the pool would have been a great one too for networking. So. Elaine?
I am grateful that my buyer is actively looking and actively checking my website and favoriting, you know, the properties that he wants. And then when he finds one, he just emails me and try to see if it's available. So hopefully we'll get something in the next week or two.
Very good. And Jamie?
I found out that my niece in Phoenix got a new job, and I'm excited for her because she needed something that paid better than what she had, and she found something. And she's a single girl like her Aunt Janie. I know something about, you know, being out on your own. So I'm just really grateful that she found a better job.
Very good. I'm grateful this Friday. I'm going to be going to a little play they've got at CPA, which is Presbyterian Academy or something like that.
Yep.
Up here. So it's a little play that they've got. So Sherry and I are going to go to that. So it'll be fun to go to.
This should be good. They do a good job.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to be here at the Franklin Market Center this morning. I do have an appointment with RJ this afternoon here. And then I'll be up at Brentwood if y'all need me, okay? Oh, and Holly, Janie is doing her previews and stuff. You still need any previews? She can loop you in on those.
Yeah, I'd love to go do some with her.
Okay, all right. She'll get your number on. I'll get it off the website. We'll include here in the group text here today. Okay,
Okay.
all right. See y'all later.
You guys-
Bye.